Welcome to Blockbuster Tales, where movies come to life through epic breakdowns. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for your weekly dose of cinematic deep dives. Let's dive into the story. After the war in Avatar, The Way of Water, peace settles momentarily on Pandora. Jake Sully and Neytiri, now deeply rooted in the oceanic Metkayina clan, begin to rebuild their lives with their children. However, their hearts remain haunted by past losses and the looming threat of the human invaders who are regrouping in silence. Back on Earth, RDA's failure to reclaim Pandora infuriates Earth's remaining leadership. Determined to colonize Pandora and save Earth's dying environment, a more advanced battalion led by General Ardmore initiates Project Genesis, an aggressive plan that includes bioweaponry and psychological warfare. Back on Pandora, Kiri begins having deeper visions and spiritual connections with Eywa, feeling drawn to the deeper parts of the ocean, where ancient secrets lie. Took, their youngest, becomes more curious and adventurous, leading to a stronger sibling bond, but also foreshadowing future danger. Colonel Quaritch, now a recombinant with Na'vi traits, survives and retreats into the wild, confused about his identity. He wrestles with memories of his human past and his emerging connection to the land of Pandora, sparking a potential inner conflict. A strange sickness starts spreading among the forest Na'vi, killing plants and disrupting the bond with Eywa. Moat and the other Tsok consult Eywa and believe the contamination stems from new invasive India tech buried deep beneath sacred ground. Jake organizes a council with all Na'vi clans, including the Ash people of the volcanic region, who have long stayed distant. Their chief, Varang, is fierce and skeptical, but agrees to unite if Jake can prove his loyalty and strength. Kiri continues hearing Eywa's voice more clearly and discovers a deep-sea spirit tree guarded by mythical ocean creatures. With the help of Cyrea, she connects with it and receives fragmented visions of a massive catastrophe tied to human interference. Meanwhile, RDA has developed synthetic hybrid creatures combining Earth's and Pandora's wildlife. These bio-beasts are deployed to destabilize Na'vi territories. Entire ecosystems fall out of balance, causing tsunamis, forest fires, and migration chaos among animal herds. Spider, still struggling between his human origins and Na'vi loyalty, discovers secret communication between the RDA and a rebel Earth faction planning to terraform Pandora. He decides to secretly gather intel and prove his loyalty to the Sully family. Neytiri, still mourning Netium, is hardened but becomes the silent protector of her family. When the Metkayina reef is attacked by the new hybrid creatures, she leads a fierce counterattack, showcasing her unmatched warrior spirit. Colonel Quaritch returns this time not to fight, but to understand. He approaches Jake under a white flag, seeking answers about who he truly is. Jake doesn't trust him, but Kiri senses that Quaritch's soul is in flux, perhaps touched by Eywa. Varang challenges Jake to a sacred duel as part of their clan's ritual. The battle is fierce but respectful, and Jake earns their trust. The Ash people agree to join the alliance against the RDA, bringing with them powerful magma beasts and lava dash bows. Kiri begins training under Moat and learns ancient Tsok knowledge, further deepening her spiritual powers. Her bond with the creatures of Pandora strengthens, and she starts sensing a coming apocalypse unless balance is restored soon. A new character, Dr. Healer Ray, a compassionate xenobiologist from Earth, joins the RDA, but is secretly working to sabotage their operations from within. She meets Spider and warns him that Project Genesis involves wiping out the Na'vi with engineered diseases. General Ardmore launches the first full-scale attack, the Spirit Tree, destroying its roots with drill blasts and dropping EMP bombs to cut off Na'vi communication. The ocean weeps, its currents turn chaotic, and sea life starts dying en masse. Kiri, Cyrea, and Spider go on a mission to protect the remaining spirit tree in the northern ice reef. There they meet the Icy clan, who live among glowing glaciers and frozen caverns, offering them sacred crystals that may amplify their bond with Eywa. Jake leads a united army of forest, oceanic, volcanic, and ice Na'vi against RDA outposts. The battle spreads across biomes, each with different tactics: forest ambushes, water raids, and fire assaults. Pandora erupts into all-out war. Colonel Quaritch defies Ardmore's orders and helps Jake infiltrate a main RDA facility. His betrayal tips the balance momentarily. However, Ardmore activates the Genesis core, releasing a wave of toxic spores that start poisoning the air and water. Kiri faints and enters a deep vision. Eywa shows her a possible future where Pandora becomes lifeless, with only ruins and machines. In that moment, Kiri realizes she must become a conduit for Eywa, bridging the spirit world and physical world. Before Kiri begins her spiritual transformation, a massive underwater tremor occurs, cracking the ocean floor and revealing a long-lost Na'vi temple submerged in glowing coral. Within it, ancient carvings speak of the chosen vessel, a being who can merge with Eywa entirely. The elders believe Kiri may be this vessel, but warn that such a bond could consume her completely if not done in balance. Natri resists the idea, fearing she lose another child to fate's burden. Meanwhile, as the battlefront expands, the children of the Sully family, Loak, Took, and Cyrea, lead a covert rescue mission into a human biolab where hybrid creatures are being bred. Inside, they discover mutated animals suffering in pain, controlled by neural chips. Loak destroys the core system, freeing the beasts. However, he is gravely injured during the escape, reinforcing Jake's fear that even victory will come at devastating personal costs. The Na'vi combine their efforts to protect Kiri during her spiritual ritual. Meanwhile, Dr. Healer Ray leads a revolt inside the RDA, hacking their systems and disabling weapon drones. She's captured, but inspires other Earth-born scientists to question their mission. As Kiri completes the ritual, her body becomes infused with glowing energy. She summons ancient beasts of Pandora, creatures from myth who rise from beneath the ocean and deep within the volcanoes to defend their land. A massive battle unfolds. Natri leads a mid-air assault with Banshees, Jake, and Varang destroy RDA command posts, and Spider frees Dr. Healer and other captives. The spirit tree begins pulsing again, spreading light and healing across the battlefield. General Ardmore escapes to the Sky Station and begins deploying a terraforming beam, aimed to convert Pandora's air into Earth's. But before it can activate, Kiri channels Eywa's power and sends a bolt of spiritual force that overloads the beam and causes it to implode. Quaritch is fatally wounded in battle, but dies saving Jake from a sniper shot. As he fades, he whispers that Pandora changed him and asks for forgiveness. Jake gives him a Na'vi farewell, honoring the small piece of good that remained. With the RDA fleet in disarray, the surviving humans surrender or are banished. The Na'vi begin healing the land. Kiri, now a spiritual guide, helps restore balance to Pandora's roots and waters using sacred crystals and songs of Eywa. Peace returns to Pandora, but scars remain. Jake reflects on their fight and the cost of freedom. He finally lays Netayam's memory to rest and embraces his role not just as a warrior, but as a bridge between clans, people, and planets. The story ends with Kiri standing at the edge of the spirit tree, hearing a new voice, something from beyond Pandora, hinting at a greater universal threat. Her eyes glow as she whispers, "Eywa is not alone," setting the stage for Avatar 4.